Good morning, I'm Nathan Edwards.
And I'm Alex King. Here's 3 quick stories to get your day started. Kings Island's nighttime spectacular Under the Stars returns tomorrow. You can enjoy fireworks, drones, and lasers as a finale to your night at the park.
Ooh, drones and lasers.
I know, they're getting fancy.
Yeah, this is great, and summer season really kicks off this weekend. Melena's going to be out there this morning talking about Camp Snoopy opening up.
Lots of exciting stuff.
Yeah, I'm excited. And Allwood wants you to join its children's ferry house construction team. Starting next Saturday, they're going to be building new ferry houses for kids to enjoy out at the farm.
This is actually so cute.
They are so cute, and it's fun because, like, you know, they have so much greenery around there, and you never know when you're going to see one of these little houses.
I want to build a little fairy house in my front yard.
They're adorable.
That's so cute.
Yeah, I mean, based off the books you read, it makes sense.
I knew you were going to say something about that. Literally, as I sent you this story, I was like, I bet you he brings up my books.
I can't help it. It's just like you open the door for me.
It's fine. It is what it is. The Cheese Fest lineup has just been released. Austin Landing is hosting 29 different vendors on Saturday, kicking off their summer event series.
Cheese.
Yeah, this list looks so good. I mean, they have so many different
You know, it's got
vendors that are going to be there.
Alex, if I was to go out to Cheese Fest, I'd be hunting down some chili cheese fries.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's my play.
Ooh, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
And there's a beer garden, so you can get some beer while you're at it.
Beer and cheese. Nothing is better.
Just call or text 988. It's free, confidential, and available 24/7.
We're going to look at new surveillance video of a park stabbing that prompted a SWAT standoff in Sydney last Thursday. We want to warn you the video may be disturbing for some viewers. Now, officers were called to Brown Park on East Clay Street after a fight broke out. Now, when they arrived, they found 2 people with stab wounds. A 23-year-old man and a 16-year-old were both taken to the hospital. The 23-year-old was pronounced dead there, and the 16-year-old is still in serious condition. The next day, officers issued a search warrant at a second home on 2nd Avenue for a 16-year-old suspect in relation to the stabbing. Police say he hid in the home for 9 hours. The teen was eventually arrested. He's facing charges of murder and felonious assault.
An update regarding the deadly Logan County tornadoes. The Disaster Recovery Center is preparing to move to another location. The center at the Galilee Lutheran Church in Russell Point will close tomorrow at 5 p.m. A new location has not been announced yet. All other Ohio disaster recovery centers will be closed for Memorial Day Monday. The FEMA helpline will maintain normal business hours throughout the holiday weekend. Get excited! After so much anticipation, Kings Island is set to open the brand new Camp Snoopy tomorrow.
Yeah, it's an expansion of the kids section, Planet Snoopy, and take a look here. You can see it is very cool, neat stuff. There's new rides, a food hall, and a play place. So we sent Melena out to give us a sneak peek.
Right now, she's right outside the entrance of Camp Snoopy. Melena, what all are you going to show us this morning?
Guys, it's dark right now, but what I can tell you is just walking through, there is so many cool things in here that I'm already getting ready to check out. But I think there's somebody better who may be able to give you an insight on what all is here today. I'm joined by Chad Showalter, the Director of Communications. Thank you for joining us again. You always speak with us. We appreciate it. Give people a little idea of what all is inside Camp Snoopy.
Absolutely. Well, first of all, the summer kicks off this weekend at Kings Island. Of course, we're opening Camp Snoopy. It's been, we've had this weekend circled on our calendar for so long, and it's finally here. Camp Snoopy is a new area within Planet Snoopy, our kids area, where we have a new family roller coaster, Snoopy Soapbox Racers, a new place for kids to play and meet the Peanuts gang over at Beagle Scout Acres, parents are going to love that because it's covered, it's shaded, and that'll come in handy on those hot summer days. And then a new place to eat at Pigpen's Mess Hall. So we have so much in store for our families visiting this summer, but also with Memorial Day weekend, our water park opens, and we also start our nightly fireworks on Friday night.
I know. I am so excited for this. I know the people at home are excited for this. Just give people an idea of just how much hard work went in and time went into creating all of this.
Yeah, we announced this Camp Snoopy addition to the park last fall, and since then our team has worked tirelessly and even around the clock here recently to make sure it's open for Memorial Day weekend. We just can't wait to see the first kids come in and meet Snoopy for the first time in his camp apparel and meet the camp counselors and ride their first rides on Snoopy's soapbox racers.
Absolutely. I know. I'm excited for it. I'm sure the kids are way more excited than I am. But stay tuned because this morning, not only are we going to be riding some of the rides, we're going to be doing my favorite thing, trying some of the new desserts. For now, I'm going to send things back to you guys in studio.
Our time right now is 5:09. Don't forget to get your headlines scrolling at the bottom of your screen.
And your weather on the side of the screen all morning long, even during commercials.
Homeowners are regretting buying their houses. Coming up on Your Day, what analysts say you should do to avoid extra stress on your wallet.
You're watching Your Day. Nearly half of all American homeowners experience buyer's remorse. That's according to a new survey from Bankrate. For 40%, it's because of maintenance fees and other hidden costs they didn't factor in. 18% say they bought too small of a house, and 15% regret where they bought it. Still, 2/3 of homeowners said they'd do it again if they could go back in time. Analysts say you shouldn't go into home ownership blindly and take a realistic approach.
You know what? We need to be somewhat conservative with our spending because there are going to be things like replacing the HVAC. You need a new refrigerator, the plumbing goes out. Those aren't all going to hit at once, but they will occur if one is in a home for some period of time.
Hamrick notes there's a benefit to higher interest rates despite its impact on mortgage rates and borrowing. When it comes to savings, you can get a better return on your investment, so take advantage of high-yield CDs that can help you offset those hidden fees.
Americans appear to be hanging on to older vehicles for longer. Right now, the average age of American vehicles is 12.6 years old. Now, that's up 3 months from the average in 2023, and it's a record high. Right now, the average price to purchase a new vehicle in the U.S. is just over $45,000.
Authorities in Iowa confirmed 5 people are dead and at least 35 were injured after a fierce tornado swept through the state Tuesday. 4 of those victims died in the town of Greenfield. Officials there say the number of people injured will likely rise as search and rescue operations continue. More than 100 first responders were on the ground combing through the wreckage of the town yesterday. Iowa Governor Kim Reynolds has issued a disaster proclamation for hard-hit counties and says the state is seeking federal help.
And I was actually friends with a meteorologist who works out of Des Moines, which is, I believe, the TV station in that area. And he had mentioned that the NWS had confirmed at least EF3. So gives you an idea that is a very, very destructive tornado. Now, yesterday we did have storms in our area. They were not severe for the most part. There was actually, I believe, 2, maybe 3 that did turn briefly strong and severe. And that was kind of what I thought would be the case, where the vast majority would be sub-severe. Today, I think it's a mix of sun and clouds, tilted probably, if we're being fair, more towards the clouds. Once we get into the afternoon, we'll start to see at least some chance of rain. The reason is we do have peak heating, and you also do have this weak wave. It's really just a warm front that's going to settle somewhere in the region, and because of that, we will have to contend with probably at the bare minimum a couple of thunder showers. I really don't expect any type of severe weather. Don't get me wrong, 1 or 2 of these storms could pull strong, and like yesterday, produce a lot of thunder, produce some heavy rounds of rain, but anything that does move through would be, let's say, on the briefer side. For tomorrow, it's kind of similar, perhaps maybe just not as much coverage. Do think Saturday morning could also see a wave come in. Both of those are not trending to be anything more than just a brief chance at showers or even some thunder showers. Temperature-wise, upper 70s today, tonight 64. One of the reasons why we don't expect these waves to be quite as prolific with any type of storm development, it is substantially cooler. Yesterday we hit 86. Now, where I do have my eyes on still is Sunday. That's a very strong wave, could produce heavy amounts of rain. And depending on timing, a couple other things, yes, storms are a potential possibility. Beyond that, 70s, so much cooler for Memorial Day and beyond. On the roads this morning, Maumee and Wagner Ford Road is the only incident. And 75 still dealing with the road construction up and down, but you know that if you've driven it by now.
Our time right now is 5:17, still to come.
For months, we've been following the story of Steve Abbott, and there is a new therapy that is making a difference for those with prostate cancer. I'm Liz Bonus. We share what we all need to know just ahead.
You're watching Your Day.
It is time for Pet of the Day, and fortunately, just could not find my graphic. And Deb understood the assignment. Now, Deb sent in, I believe, 2 of her pets maybe last week, 2 weeks ago, somewhere in that ballpark, and I aired them. This go around, she said, oh, you know what? I've got 4 grandkids that need to be shown here. So, yeah, Blanche, Spike, Penelope, and Clark. So big thank you to Deb. Of course, on Thursdays and Tuesdays, we try and show multiple pets. So if you have multiple pets, either send in photos of 2 pets or send in, let's say, separate photos of those 2 pets, and we will air them. And a big thank you to Deb and all those who have sent in your photos. Trust me, I see them all, and I really do appreciate it. Temperatures today, low 70s, giving way to upper 70s. A lot of clouds, but we do have a window this afternoon and evening where we could get some showers, maybe a thunder shower or 2, not expecting anything severe or even that strong. On the roads this morning, well, at least it looks pretty outside. We're really not seeing any tie-ups. Just a reminder, you're going to have travelers over the next few days moving through the area, whether it's moving into this area or just passing through. They may not be familiar with the contraflow lanes. Just give yourself some extra time.
Nestle unveiled plans for a frozen food brand designed just for those taking weight loss drugs, Ozempic and Wegovy. It's called Vital Pursuit, and it consists of prepackaged, portion-controlled options from sandwiches to pizzas. Morgan Stanley predicts about 31.5 million Americans will be taking these types of drugs by 2035. Now, the meals start at $5 and are expected to be available later this year. Well, it appears the risk of fish oil supplements outweigh the benefits in healthy people. It was found to be harmful to heart health if you're healthy already. Experts advise against using fish oil supplements if you're currently healthy. Eating a heart-healthy diet containing omega-3 sources like fatty fish may be best. And 1 in 4 Americans consider moving to be more stressful than landing a plane in an emergency. A recent survey of 2,000 Americans who have moved in the last 5 years investigated the overwhelming task of moving and found more than a few startling answers. Now, respondents rated moving as more overwhelming than losing a job, switching careers, and even running for president. This was commissioned by College Hunks Hauling Junk and Moving and conducted by Talker Research. And the poll revealed the average American has already moved 5 times in their life and expects to move 3 more times in the future. From the NASDAQ market site, I'm Jane King. Here's your health.
As rates of cancer rise in younger people, specialists want you to know the early warning signs and best screenings to lower your risk. Medical reporter Liz Bonas shares their impact in one survivor's story.
Hey there, hello to you. For months now, we've been following the story of Steve Abbott. He is a 12-year prostate cancer survivor with advanced disease. This is a picture where I recently spoke to him from his hospital room at the MD Anderson Cancer Center, where he's the first in the world on a new therapy using his own immune system in a unique way to fight this disease.
What they could do now is allow the immune system to see the prostate cancer cell, which it wasn't able to do before, which is why it couldn't do battle with it, basically.
Steve Abbott says his previous therapy he told us about here at Ohio's urology group worked well, but as his PSA numbers began to climb, his medical team suggested this clinical trial. He's just had 1 treatment of this breakthrough therapy, but already his PSA, which is a protein in the blood that measures prostate cancer risk, is showing improvement.
This was an early indicator. The trial doesn't yet call for it, but it was down to 16.6. And we started the trial at about 30, and that was on April 29th.
Cancer specialists at Ohio's University of Cincinnati Cancer Center say this is a reminder. The PSA is a critical number for guys to know.
We take a number of factors into consideration, but 4.0 tends to be the upper limit of normal.
Finding cancer early allows researchers now to do 2 things to make sure men get the right treatment. Specialists can now test and tell
whether it's local or metastatic, and even when it's local or metastatic, whether it may be aggressive or non-aggressive.
That allows for targeted treatment based on one's own disease.
Our goal would be to find the patients who need treatment and not treat those who don't need treatment.
For those such as Steve, getting what works based on your own body has been critical to survival. He says knowing your personal risk can help you save your own life.
We will continue to follow Steve's progress. The medical team optimistic with these early positive results. With your health news, I'm Liz Bonus reporting.
Our time right now is 5:26, still to come.
The new Camp Snoopy in Kings Island opens tomorrow. Stay tuned. We're showing you all morning.
And a judge has officially signed off on a class action settlement over the train derailment in East Palestine. Coming up, where residents will be receiving the money.
And here's a live look over the Miami Valley. The roads aren't looking too bad out there yet, but travel is expected to start gearing up today. Nick's bringing you your travel forecast next.
You're watching Your Day.
Your Place, Inside and Out, is sponsored by All Seal Home Improvement.
We've all been stir crazy these past couple of months. However, it's been the perfect opportunity to tackle those at-home projects that we've all been putting off. Most of us have a bit more time on our hands, and I don't know about you, but when I'm home more often, I start nitpicking at our house and thinking about all the changes and additions that I'd like to make. It's been fun seeing all of the interior and exterior work around the neighborhood and community. It seems like everyone's really been enjoying the outdoors and making it a space to enjoy. From deck additions to updated landscaping, fire pits, power washing, and painting, everyone's homes are looking really nice. If you need any home improvement assistance, we've got you covered.
For more than 40 years, All Seal has installed quality windows, doors, awnings, siding, and patio rooms. Visit one of their showrooms to discover why thousands of customers chose All Seal for the best products at competitive prices.
All Seal Home Improvement, your seal of quality.
Good morning, I'm Nathan Edwards.
And I'm Alex King. Here are 3 stories to get your day started. King Charles may no longer have the worst portrait in the royal family. Check out the cover of the latest Tatler magazine. It features a new portrait of Catherine, Princess of Wales. People are criticizing it online, saying it looks nothing like the princess. Yeah, the face is a little...
It looks more like Daisy Ridley, who played, in Star Wars.
Yeah, I feel like they did something weird with her face.
I don't know what it is. It's
kind of hard to tell.
I don't know. I could probably draw something like that.
Could you?
Yeah.
That's impressive.
It's not that
I'd like to see you try.
The point I'm making is it's not that impressive.
Okay.
And there's a new pizza capital. A congresswoman from Connecticut just declared New Haven, the pizza capital of the United States. New Yorkers aren't happy about the move. One lawmaker from the Empire State said it had to be a prank call.
Oh,
I have
wow.
heard that New Haven pizza is pretty amazing. So,
Interesting.
but you know, those New Yorkers, they're like, nah,
Nah.
nah.
You know what? They can't say anything because they fold their pizza. Do New Haven people fold their pizza?
Uh-oh, Nick's popping around. Here
I know
we go.
you'd like to
Mr.
fold your
New Jersey
pizza.
over there. No folding?
No.
That's why we go Dayton style pizza.
That's just
Small
wrong.
squares, bam.
Exactly. Police in Florida snapped this picture with a 10-foot gator. This is why we don't live in Florida. A homeowner found the animal inside an enclosed pool. May is the start of mating season for alligators, so people down south tend to see more of them this time of year. Every time I start to think, you know what, maybe Florida would be okay to move, I see something like this and I'm like, we don't have that here, so.
Enclosed pool. How did that get in there?
Yeah, maybe a bit of hole through the mesh or something.
Oof.
Yikes. The rush to get from point A to point B is kicking into gear starting today.
The Federal Aviation Administration predicts this will be the most traveled Memorial Day weekend in 14 years.
Nearly 54,000 flights are taking off today. TSA says it will likely screen 18 million people between now and Wednesday. Officials at the TSA say 4 of its all-time busiest days took place this month.
All right, Nick, people flying out, trying to get out of Dodge. What's it going to look like?
Trying to get out of town,
Yeah.
You know, it's going to be interesting here because it's a little unsettled, but it's not like we're going to see a ton of rain per se every hour. One thing that I will point out, Sunday's not looking that great, so if you're traveling Sunday, but for today, it's a lot more quiet than yesterday. So
Hey, I'm going up to Michigan. It's about 10 degrees cooler up there, which is pretty wild. I'm looking forward to it because it's been hot.
Oh, trust me, we are too. Getting out of here. Let's go into the weather wall and see what's going on. Well, this morning, you know, the kids wrapping up school. I think it's, Fairborn? There are a couple different schools. I think our producer may have the list if she can yell in my ear. But 60s for this morning, giving way to 70 degrees and 11 a.m. at 73. Of course, Miamisburg yesterday, their last day of school. DPS is tomorrow. So let's see. We got Bellbrook, Xenia, Springfield. So those are just some of the schools. And yeah, thank you to my producer for literally yelling them in my ear. A couple things going on. Check this out. We got snow across Montana and Wyoming. Got a couple of storms as well across the East Coast. So there is some busy weather to be had out and about. Today's not going to be particularly that heinous across our area, but there's a risk of a couple of showers and thunderstorms during the afternoon and evening. On the roads this morning, here's what's going on. Right for now, things moving smoothly as you head out on the interstates.
A federal judge has signed off on the $600 million class action settlement over the devastating train derailment in East Palestine. This resolves claims against Norfolk Southern. The derailment and controlled burn in early February of last year left residents in the area concerned about their water and soil. The amount of money people receive will vary based on factors like how close they live to the derailment. Some are concerned it won't be enough to cover future health needs. Residents have until July 1st to opt out of the deal and preserve their right to file an individual lawsuit later.
Senators Dick Durbin and Lindsey Graham reaching across the aisle yesterday to renew their push for the Stop CSAM Act. It's a package of bills that seeks to curb child abuse online by allowing victims to sue social media platforms for hosting child sex abuse material. While it passed with unanimous support in the Judiciary Committee, the package failed to take off before the full Senate. Senator Graham blames big tech for interfering.
We are not stopping. We're going to keep going to the floor until we break this wall. And what is this wall? Money and influence. The only reason we don't have these bills passed is because of money. I have vowed not to take a penny from these social media companies. I wish everybody in Congress say we don't want your money anymore.
Opponents to Stop CSAM Act argue that it could undermine privacy protections and threaten free speech online.
This morning, Israel is facing more pushback from the White House. Israel is withholding funds for the Palestinian Authority, the territory's governing body. It's a response to several European nations saying they'd recognize a Palestinian state. Under decades-old agreements, Israel collects tax revenue earmarked for the Palestinian Authority. Officials now say they'll halt the transfers. U.S. National Secretary Advisor Jake Sullivan says withholding the money destabilizes the West Bank.
It undermines the search for security and prosperity for the Palestinian people, which is in Israel's interests. And I think it's wrong to withhold funds that provide basic goods and services to innocent peoples.
Sullivan says those funds should continue to flow with all of the necessary safeguards. Meanwhile, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is criticizing the move to recognize a Palestinian state, calling it a reward for terrorism. He adds, quote, "This evil cannot be given a state. This would be a terrorist state. It will try to repeat the massacre of October 7 again and again. We will not consent to this." Get excited. After so much anticipation, Kings Island is set to open the brand new Camp Snoopy tomorrow.
Now, it's an expansion of the kids section, Planet Snoopy, and let me tell you, it looks pretty amazing.
Yeah,
I know
it
my
does.
kids are excited about it. And so we sent Melena out to give us a sneak peek.
And Melena, you're at Beagle Scout Acres right now, so what can parents and kids enjoy there?
I think she lost our phone call there. Our time right now is 5:37. Don't forget you can get your headlines scrolling at the bottom of your screen.
Live TV for you. And your weather on the side of your screen all morning long, even during commercials.
Another tough night for the Cincinnati Reds. Coming up, Matt Digby breaks down the big game.
And most Americans aren't using all the vacation days they could be. Just had a look at the numbers and how millennials are quiet vacationing.
That's me. You're watching Your Day.
Well, here's what we're looking at this morning. Temperatures 10 to 15 degrees cooler than 24 hours ago. It puts us upper 50s and low 60s. Yet again, we are talking about cooler conditions, but not necessarily that cold for this time of year. I'll point out that we were ridiculously warm during the morning yesterday. Of course, then we saw that morning line of rain and we cooled off just a touch. Then it got really humid, and of course that led to the storms during the afternoon and evening. Today, there's still going to be a window for us to see showers and thunderstorms. That would be about the same time period, I would say, starting about 2-3 p.m., but continuing through about 9 or 10. And the reason why that window is the most likely is, A, we're going to have a frontal boundary, so you will have a very weak little trigger, if you will, or a weak little match being lit. But what we don't have is the dynamics that we did yesterday, hence why it's just going to be some showers. In terms of temperature, 70 at 9 a.m., 11 a.m. we're looking at 75, mid to upper 70s throughout the afternoon and evening, and making a run towards 80 right around the dinner time period.
All right, now we're getting excited. After so much anticipation, Kings Island is set to open the brand new Camp Snoopy tomorrow.
Let's check in with Milena Brown. She's live this morning for us. And Milena, what's it like out there?
Guys, I finally found another stage I can be a star on, but this time it is inside Camp Snoopy. This is the new Beagle Scout Acres. It is the hub of Camp Snoopy, and you can see all around me that there's different interactive spaces for kids to come and play. And what's really nice is that it's shaded, it's covered. So on those days where it's really hot or it's raining, parents can come bring the kids here, they can relax. The food hall is actually just a few steps away, which would be really nice to be able to grab something to eat. And of course, the Peanuts gang is actually going to be hanging out here as well. So I think this is going to be such a great central hub for kids to come out and play. They have some different music options over here to my left. These little things that you can crawl through. They have a little mini rock climbing wall. They have slides. It's really such a great place to come out and have fun. And again, we've talked about this before. If you have kids that just aren't really into the rides yet, Kings Island has some really great options to come out and still bring the kids who don't love rides but still want to do something fun. And what better than to come on this humongous playground and also hang out with the Peanuts gang. This is really awesome. Next, we're going to be heading to try maybe some food and ride some rides, so stay tuned. We have some more good things coming up for you this morning.
Good morning, I'm Matt Digby with a look at sports. The Cincinnati Reds back home for several series. That homestand starting with a win Tuesday night over the San Diego Padres. So that meant 2 chances to win a 3-game series for the first time in a month. And it will come down to Thursday's rubber match after the Padres winning Wednesday 7-3 at Great America Ballpark. Both teams with solo home runs in the first inning. This was Jeimer Candelario putting the hosts on the board, but 6 unanswered runs for the Padres, while Tyler Stevenson's 2-run double only cut the deficit to 4. Now today's game scheduled for an afternoon first pitch, but the Reds will stay home through the 29th. They'll host the Dodgers this weekend before 3 games with the Cardinals. Several high school postseason baseball games able to beat the weather on Wednesday. Russia baseball with 5 runs in the first inning, setting the tone for a 19-run win against Felicity Franklin in Miamisburg. It's 7 straight district championships now for the Raiders, 8 out of the last 9. They're 2 wins away from a 3rd straight appearance at the state championship. Many players on the baseball team, also on the basketball team that's made the last 2 state tournaments in that sport. But again, a strong start setting the tone for another district title.
Definitely raised the energy levels in the beginning. It really helped us, starting off, come here a little tired, a long bus ride, but when we got here, it helped us. That really motivated us. We got to raise our mindsets. We got to be ready, a lot of practice. We know what to practice for.
This is our goal, to get here, get to the districts and have it. That means then we have a chance to play for another regional championship. So we accomplished this goal. It's what we wanted. It doesn't matter if it's baseball, basketball, whatever sport it is. They've been to state in several different tournaments for several different years.
Also, weather pending. Today marks the start of the Horizon League tournament run for Wright State baseball. They're scheduled to play Youngstown State at Nishwood Stadium at 11 o'clock this morning. That's a look at sports. I'm Matt Digby.
While the majority of Americans say they're satisfied with the amount of vacation time they get, most aren't using it at all. According to a new poll, 78% of workers don't use all the vacation days allowed by their employer. The average person took 15 days last year, despite having more. The top reasons why? Well, pressure to be available and a heavy workload top the list. Even when workers take days off, many struggle to fully disconnect, with 4 out of 5 admitting to checking emails on vacation. 2/3 say they dread the backlog of work waiting for them. Now, a third of millennials admitted to quiet vacationing. Alex took a closer look at the data. Alex, how many millennials admit to doing workarounds to avoid getting into the office?
Well, Nathan, 38% say they've moved their mouse to appear active online, and 37% say they took some unofficial time off without telling their boss. 37% also said they've scheduled messages to make it appear they were working extra hours. More than 3/4 of all workers say they wish their workplace culture valued taking breaks and time off.
Our time right now is 5:46. With summer right around the corner, many parents are struggling to find affordable camps for their kids. Coming up on Your Day, Cassie Arsenal joins us with how you can fight the rising costs.
You're watching Your Day.
The Dayton 24/7 Now News app, brought to you by the Jeff Schmidt Auto Group.
Well, it's almost Memorial Day weekend, the unofficial start to summer. Schools all across the Miami Valley are wrapping the school year up this week. One thing on many parents' minds, finding ways to keep their kids busy. With camp costs soaring and options dwindling, you may be feeling a little stuck. Cassie Arsenal shares how you can still afford to get your kid to camp.
These two kiddos stay busy.
Are you sure this is your first time ice skating? You're pretty good.
Whether it's horseback riding, arts and crafts, or make-believe.
Boop, beep, boop, beep, boop.
Megan Scudder works tirelessly providing quality playtime for her kids. This summer, she's not feeling as confident as they will be home all day, every day.
It just seems like summer camps are for the wealthy.
Scudder says most parents feel the pressure when school is out. That's why she created this mom's Facebook group, encouraging parents to post about free events that they can take their children to. She said the group hasn't garnered as much participation as she hoped. The reality is, camp every week in summer is not affordable.
$300, I think, is the cheapest that I've seen. Maybe $275 if you're lucky, per kid. So if you have a lot of kids, it's kind of out of the question for most middle-class people, I think.
So I did some research on local popular camps. Cincinnati's Zoo Camp for a half-day, week-long camp per kid is $175 if you can snag a spot. And the following camps had to increase their prices because of inflation. So the cost per week per kid goes something like this. For YMCA Camp Earns program, it will cost you anywhere between $495 to $850. And Great Parks Day Camps have programs for $180 to $425. Springer's academic day camp, called Adventures in Summer Learning, has had to increase prices but offers 2-week programs for $700. Some camps have kept costs stable, like STEAM Studio Camp, a science camp for kids at Miami University. The cost is $250 per kid per week. And St. Ursula Academy, which has programs from $75 to $400 per kid.
So for years, we were able to just maintain camp as it was. We never raised prices, but salaries have increased and costs have increased. I mean, it's expensive to run camp. There's insurance, lighting, the snacks, the supplies even is just exorbitant. Everything about running an organization, including camp, has doubled.
Ramona Toussaint runs the Wyoming Fine Arts Center. And it's 15 weeks of camp that's offered to preschoolers through teens. They didn't want to, but they also had to raise costs 15%.
I think for pre-Ks, the camps start at about $90. The camps go all the way up to $240.
Toussaint says any camp is a must to help our children become well-rounded individuals.
We know that arts help with math, science, and academics, and even reading. I think social-emotional skills are so important, and we've lost them, but you can get them through the arts.
And she hates that some people are priced out of that opportunity, but she has a very important insider tip.
You know, talk to the organizations. If they're a nonprofit like we are, we're here to serve the community because we see you as an individual, we're not corporations.
And here's some things that can help you out. Even if you think a camp is unaffordable, ask them about scholarships and payment plans. With costs rising, camps are now doing both. The cost of camp could actually work in your favor come tax time. It counts as an expense towards the Child Independent Care Credit. And here in Ohio, we have the ACE program. Unfortunately, they're no longer accepting applications, but if you did qualify, you can use it towards sending your kid to camp until September of 2025.
I just want them to have the best opportunities, you know, the best chance at life as possible and well-round them as much as I can.
I'm Cassie Arsenault reporting from Cincinnati.
Our time right now is 5:53. What's a turtle's favorite sandwich? Peanut butter and jellyfish. It's World Turtle Day. We have all the ways you can celebrate next.
Oh my gosh, so many puns. You're watching Your Day.
Good morning. We are looking at a fairly quiet start to your morning, somewhat cloudy start, kind of similar to yesterday. And actually, yesterday is a template for today in a way. We are going to get temperatures upper 70s, giving way to 80s, but I don't really expect the mid to upper 80s that we saw yesterday. So again, a template. What we do expect is a window this afternoon and evening for showers and thunderstorms. The time period seems to be afternoon, evening, continuing through potentially the first part of overnight. Once we get into Friday, I think the threat becomes more towards the second half day. That could extend into early Saturday. But overall, Sunday, that is your big threat for rain. Memorial Day, a couple scattered showers are possible.
Today's a day for celebration. It's World Turtle Day. The nonprofit American Tortoise Rescue sponsors each year to raise awareness about the reptiles. Organizations around the world put on fundraisers and educational events every year on May 23rd. This year's theme is Let's Party. According to the rescue, about 60% of the world's turtle species are extinct. And here's a look at the Newport Aquarium's many turtles. And you can see, I mean, look at these videos. These are so beautiful.
Oh man, I just love this so much.
They're so majestic.
Okay, that turtle's name was Denver, the sea turtle.
Denver,
Yeah.
oh my goodness.
Down at the Newport.
Why would you name a turtle
Diamondback
after a mountain?
Pumpkin, diamond terrapin. You know what though? I just love turtles. They're majestic creatures, whether it be a sea turtle or even just a turtle you find out at a local pond.
Like a slider?
When I see them, I get so excited. I'm just like, look at that.
The only ones
turtle.
I don't like are the snapping ones. Those things are intimidating.
They rip your hand clear off. That's what happened.
Okay, the only thing I care about turtles is turtle.
Oh, master
Dana
disguise.
Harvey.
There you go.
The only thing I care about is give me some fin.
Whatever. What was
Noggin.
that? Oh, okay.
Dude.
Dory or Nemo?
I need Nemo.
There you go.
Nice.
We got a lot more coming up on your day at 6 a.m.
Calling all campers, summer is in session. It's time to head down to Kings Island for the all-new Camp Snoopy.
You're watching Your Day.
Good morning, I'm Nathan Edwards.
And I'm Alex King. Here's 3 quick stories to get your day started. Kings Island's nighttime spectacular Under the Stars returns tomorrow. You can enjoy fireworks, drones, and lasers as a finale to your night at the park.
Fireworks is such a summer thing, and I just love it so much.
I love it, but I hate it with our shift. It's just not fun.
Oh, well, yeah, whatever, you know.
This only really bothers me when it
Only
it
on
keeps
July
me up.
4th is bad when they're
When
blowing
it's
up
like
the neighborhood.
4 days in a row. Yeah.
It is what it is. Allwood wants you to join its children ferry house construction team. Oh, we're doing ferry houses. Starting next Saturday, they're going to be building new ferry houses for the kids to enjoy on the farm. Is that how it works?
I like that. That was good.
It's trying to be very mystical and like I'm reading a storybook. Sorry.
Nathan, you need to do voiceovers.
That could be good. It could be fun.
You need to do a voiceover for one of my books.
One day I'm just going to come out with a huge beard and a big pointy hat and be like, ooh,
The
we have our
wizards.
fairy houses.
This
Yes,
is
we
our
do.
resident wizards.
Anyway, sorry. Being weird. It's only 6. God help all you.
The Cheese Fest lineup has just been released. Austin Landing is hosting 29 different vendors on Saturday, kicking off their summer event series.
I'll have cheese on a stick. Yeah.
Literally, you can't go wrong with anything cheese. Anything that's related to cheese, unless you're lactose intolerant.
Like gourmet grilled cheese is great.
Yes.
And like mac and cheese.
I want mac and cheese, so special.
Or
I want a
like-
big fat grilled cheese sandwich.
Yes. Maybe on some sourdough. Yes. I'm hungry now.
Same. Memorial Day is Monday, and more than 38 million people are expected to hit the highways this weekend to celebrate the unofficial start to summer.
We want to give you a live look at our roadways
Whoa.
this morning. Well, a little I-75 Austin Boulevard looking a little bit foggy at this moment. According to AAA, travel this Memorial Day weekend will be the second highest on record.
More than 43 million Americans are expected to travel by plane, cruises, and public transportation. That's a 4% increase from last year and close to the previous 2005 record of 44 million travelers. AAA says the busiest times on the roads will be from noon today through 7 p.m. tomorrow.
Honestly, I think a majority of people probably heading out tomorrow, but either today or tomorrow, what's it going to look like for folks?
Well, it's going to be kind of active, but at the same point, enough periods where you could get out and get on the road and probably not even see much more than just clouds. I think it's going to actually be much cooler than it has been. Yesterday we hit 86, so we were talking about multiple days mid to upper 80s. Now it's upper 70s, 80s, so may not be ideal pool weather, but still pretty nice.
Yeah, it was warm, but at times those clouds cooled things down a bit.
Yeah, it still was humid though at points as well. As for today, a lot less humid, a lot less warmth as for this morning, but I do expect it to be temperatures mid 70s by 11 a.m. So it's not like it's going to be cool all day. Worth pointing out that we will be partly to mostly cloudy yet again. Now, if you are traveling, here's what you need to know. Columbus area as well as Louisville could see showers or thunderstorms this afternoon. Wouldn't rule it out across portions of the region as well. This may not be, again, very, very active, but there is going to be some activity. Temperature-wise, upper 70s compared to low to mid 80s. So we are all going to be relatively within this narrow band of temperatures, which is centered around 80 degrees. If you are traveling right for now, it is fairly quiet. I'm going to actually pop my head outside. Austin Boulevard is not particularly that far from our studio, and I'm not quite sure if it's just a very dense fog in that direction or if there's something else going on with the camera itself. But I'm going to pop my head, see what's going on, and I'll report back here in a couple minutes.
We're going to look at surveillance video of the park stabbing that prompted a SWAT standoff in Sydney last Thursday. We do want to warn you, this video may be disturbing for some viewers. Now, officers were called to Brown Park on East Clay Street after the fight broke out. When they arrived, they found 2 people with stab wounds. A 23-year-old man and a 16-year-old were both taken to the hospital. The 23-year-old was pronounced dead there, and the 16-year-old is still in serious condition. The next day, officers issued a search warrant at the home on 2nd Avenue for the 16-year-old suspect in relation to the stabbing. Police say he hid in the home for 9 hours. The teen was eventually arrested. He's facing charges of murder and felonious assault.
An update regarding the deadly Logan County tornadoes. The Disaster Recovery Center is preparing to move to another location. The center at the Galilee Lutheran Church in Russell Point will close tomorrow at 5 p.m. A new location has not been announced yet. All other Ohio Disaster Recovery Centers will be closed for Memorial Day Monday. The FEMA helpline will maintain normal business hours throughout the holiday weekend. Get excited! After so much anticipation, Kings Island is set to open the brand new Camp Snoopy tomorrow.
It's an expansion of the kids section, and let me tell you, it looks so cool. We've been tracking the progress on their Instagram page. There's new rides, a food hall, and a play place. So we sent Milena Brown out to give us a sneak peek.
And now this is what everyone has been waiting for. Milena, you're at the new soapbox racers, right?
That is right, Alex. This is super exciting. We actually just got to see a test run. I'm going to take a step out because they might be doing another one here in a second. But yes, this is Snoopy's Soapbox Racers. Families, kids, everybody can ride this new thrilling roller coaster. It's really awesome. So it actually takes you up backwards, launches you 36 miles an hour, and then goes backwards again. This is a super awesome ride. I know a lot of people have been really looking forward to this new coaster. I mean, that's why you come to Kings Island, because of the coasters, right? So why not add one in this new kids section? I think it's going to be a ton of fun for people. It's actually called a boomerang coaster because of what I just told you. Let's see here if in a second if they'll give us a sneak peek. But if not, stay tuned because coming up at 7:30, I'm actually going to be right in that front seat with a special guest from Kings Island, and we are going to ride the ride together right here live on your day. I am a thrill seeker. I love roller coasters, so I think I'm prepared for this one, but you guys might get a couple screams out of me this morning depending on, how high and how fast this thing goes. But for now, I'm going to send things back to you guys in studio.
Looks so much fun. I love that there's families already lined up to hop on.
That's so exciting.
Yeah.
They're going to love it.
Oh yeah, it's going to be great.
Our time right now is 6:07. Don't forget you can get your headlines scrolling at the bottom of the screen.
And your weather on the side of your screen all morning long, even during commercials.
Today in Grab Me Hope, we introduce you to a 6-year-old who loves basketball. Just ahead, why Mitchell wants to be a police officer and what he's looking for in a family.
Adamus will no longer provide mental health crisis services to people here in the Miami Valley. Coming up, details on last night's meeting.
You're watching Your Day.
Well, taking a look over the entire country, I'll point your attention to Montana and parts of Wyoming. It is May 23rd and it is snowing in parts of Idaho and Montana. Gives you an idea. So the Missoula area over towards Bozeman. Great Falls does look like it's rain, but yeah, that is far too cold for me specifically. Now, as for us, again, we are cooler, and more importantly, we're also drier. So you look at temperatures 50s and 60s, but the dew points aren't that far behind. So there is somewhat of a haze outside, and I'll actually bring that up when we take a look at Austin Boulevard. Out the door today, though, I'm really not expecting that many major issues. It's 70 in the morning, giving way to mid 70s by 11 a.m. Upper 70s, if not near 80 as we get into the evening. Starting about 2 p.m., the chance of rain goes from 0 to, well, at least some chance. I think the best overall is going to be evening. That is, a frontal boundary moves in. It may just provide enough of a trigger to get a stray shower or thunderstorm going. And I should note, no severe weather is particularly likely. Now, back to the Austin Boulevard camera. I did pop my head outside. It does seem like there's a little bit of a haze. This may be just one of those spots where everything has gone right. The air is sunk down. It's gotten cool, where there is some fog. So if you're traveling through the Austin Boulevard area, there is some patchy fog. Other than that, I'm not seeing fog anywhere else. So again, if you are out and about, just keep that in mind.
The clock was ticking for Adamus to replace RI International as its service provider for crisis services. Yesterday was their last day providing them.
Adamus Board of Trustees voted no last night on contracts with 2 companies that would have kept services going. Jenna Lee Bork was at the meeting and explains what this means.
As of today in Montgomery County, the crisis call center will no longer be available. People will have to call 988 for those services, and there will not be any more mobile crisis response services from Adamus. This is not the decision Adamus's executive director was hoping for.
It's the job of Adamus to ensure that all of the citizens in our county have the ability to access the services that they need for their loved ones, for themselves. So this is really, really disappointing to me, that we would prioritize meetings over being able to have services available for people tomorrow morning.
Montgomery County Adamus will be providing 3 less services. The Crisis Call Center, Mobile Crisis Response Unit, and Crisis Receiving Center will all be suspended. RI International, the previous provider, pulled out just 15 days ago, leaving Adamus scrambling to replace it or risk having to suspend crucial services to the community. DeCoach was set to provide mobile crisis responses, and NetCare was in place to provide a crisis hotline through the end of the year if the contracts had been approved. Some argued it'd be best to take a step back and go through the process of getting local, long-term providers in place to avoid this happening in the future.
Making more mistakes and having to undo mistakes because we're paying for that now. It's smart to get everybody in the room first, plan it out, map it out, put it on paper, get everybody in agreement, and work out the kinks.
For now, police and hospitals will be the main groups taking over these types of services. Back to you.
While this all plays out, if you need mental health support or just want to talk to someone, the National Suicide and Crisis Lifeline is here for you. Just call or text 988. It's free, confidential, and available 24/7.
Our time right now is 6:14. Still to come, a heating and cooling plumbing firm is going up for a grand opening here in the Miami Valley. Just ahead, details on the company and their new Dayton office.
You're watching Your Day. At any given time, there are more than 600 children in foster care here in Montgomery County. The goal is always to reunite those children with their families, but the sad truth is some of those kids can never go back home, and now they're up for adoption.
Dayton 24/7 Now's teamed up with Grant Me Hope to help, and this morning we want to introduce you to Mitchell, who's right now looking for a family.
My name is Mitchell and I'm 6 years old. I like to play basketball, I like to play soccer. My favorite team is the Eastern Warriors because they're really good at basketball. When I grow up, I want to be a police officer because I want to help make the world a better place. I like school the most because we do art. I like to paint masks. I also like to paint pictures of airplanes and stuff. I like airplanes because they can fly. My favorite time of year is Christmas. My favorite movie is Black Panther because he's super strong. My favorite kind of music is rock and roll. I like cities because they're really big. A perfect home for me would be with kids my age and older, dogs and cats. My favorite kind of dogs are Mexican bulldogs and Pomskies. Adoption means to me that I'm going to my forever family.
You can find out more about Mitchell and other children who are up for adoption right now on Dayton247now.com. Just click the Grant Me Hope tab under Your Day.
Every week we're going to feature another child on our Dayton 24/7 Now's Grant Me Hope profiles.
Good morning. Just looking over this camera from Miamisburg, you can see the valley fog. It is not particularly dense every single spot, but what we do have is a little bit, especially right now, over the greater Miamisburg area. So it seems like this is more problematic for Miamisburg, Oxford, Lebanon, and as well as Springfield. So if you are in those areas, be prepared for somewhat of a foggy start to your morning. Now, that all being said, we do expect it to be a day where we will eventually get temperatures somewhere, let's say, upper 70s. What makes this interesting is it's starting out cooler, and I think it's just a cooler, drier day in essence. But there is going to be a window for us to actually start talking about rain. And I'm not talking about anything more than, let's say, just a scattered shower or something on the similar end. This is going to be a day where maybe a couple of rumbles of thunder will be possible. And again, that's at the absolute most. Meantime, kind of similar start to tomorrow, perhaps even a little bit of fog. Do think we'll continue to see the threat of a stray shower during the daytime tomorrow. If anything, tomorrow may be just a couple degrees warmer. For Saturday, we'll continue with the threat of maybe an isolated shower or thunderstorm during the early part of the day. But this is not a particularly heinous 3-day period, but it's just I can't rule out rain. Sunday is probably your best overall chance, with Monday turning sharply colder. Sunday will point out that storms are possible. One of the cameras that hinted at the fog, well, that's over Austin Boulevard right now, where, yeah, it is very much so lower visibility, at least comparatively to downtown, or even 70 and 75. Right now we do have Dixie Drive at Wagner Ford. That's your only incident in around the Dayton area.
Topping this morning's Dayton Business Journal headlines, a heating and cooling plumbing firm is gearing up for a grand opening in Dayton. Thomas & Galbraith Heating and Cooling and Plumbing recently announced its expanding services to the Miami Valley. They primarily serve Southwest Ohio, but will now offer services to customers in Dayton. The company will open its new office at 6344 Webster Street. And to read more about this story and others like it, head to Dayton247now.com, click on the news tab and select Dayton Business Journal.
Our time right now is 6:21. If you take fish oil and are pretty healthy, you may want to stop. The new study shining light on its impact on your health next.
You're watching Your Day.
It is time for Pet of the Day, and yet again, my graphic deserts me. There it is. Unfortunately, sometimes it just gets hidden amongst everything else, and well, it's one of those days where I'm not going to say it's that bad, to be honest with you. In fact, mid to upper 70s. Okay, we can deal with that. Maybe 80 degrees, that's fair enough. The only thing that is maybe a little bit, I don't want to even say concerning, it's just the risk of a stray shower or a thunderstorm. Meanwhile, I'll point out the 4 grandkids here, Penelope, Clark, Spike, and Blanche. So beautiful pets there, and thank you to Deb for sending in yours. Now, again, let's focus in on a forecast here. So we talked about low 70s. That'll happen up until now through about 10 a.m. By, let's say, noontime, we'll be around 75, 76, 77. There will likely be some warmer spots where the sun breaks out. If we do get a lot more sunshine like we did before the rain yesterday, we could easily hit 80 degrees plus during the afternoon and evening. But I will point out, based on the cloud cover, based on just about everything else, no matter what, we should be at least a few degrees cooler than yesterday, with the potential to be several degrees cooler, especially if we do get more clouds. If you are traveling this morning, a couple things going on. Number one, I-70 eastbound, there is road construction in the area around 70 and number 9 road. Unfortunately, that camera did freeze, but it was very slow going this morning. And OGO is showing a pretty lengthy delay out back towards the Indiana-Ohio border. Meanwhile, if you're up in the Springfield area, Selma Road did get a report, at least on our software here, from Sunset Ave and Kenwood, that it is closed, and Dixie Drive at Wagner Ford as well.
Osteoarthritis is probably one of the most common age-related challenges that I witness in both my canine and, perhaps surprisingly to some, feline patients. Generally, arthritis presents as chronic stiffness or lameness, particularly after laying down or following a day of a lot of activity. It definitely stinks to see our pets uncomfortable, and the good news is that there are multiple ways to intervene to help keep your pet comfortable as he or she ages. First, and I cannot stress this enough, weight management. Even a few extra pounds can dramatically exacerbate arthritis. Next, be sure to talk to your vet about medical options. In fact, in the last year or so, there have been some new products released that I have seen dramatically improve my patients' welfare. You can connect with us at our station website by looking up For Pet's Sake. We'd also love to see your favorite pet moments that you can share with our community. Go to our news app, click Explore, and chime in to upload your pet-tastic photos.
According to a new study, regular use of fish oil supplements may increase the risk of stroke and other heart issues for people without an existing disease. The study found people without cardiovascular issues who took fish oil had a 13% higher risk of developing heart issues, such as irregular heartbeat, and a 5% increased risk of stroke. The supplements help lower the risk for people with heart disease, dropping 15% for heart attacks and 9% for heart failure death.
Our time right now is 6:28, still to come.
Summer camp is in session here at Kings Island. Stay tuned, because coming up, we're going to give you a preview of one of the new rides.
A judge has officially signed off on a class action settlement over the train derailment in East Palestine. Coming up, what residents will be receiving the money.
And here's a live look of the Miami Valley. The roads aren't looking too bad out there just yet, but travel is expected to start up today. Nick's bringing a look at your travel forecast next.
But first, here's Julie Moran with America's Steals and Deals.
The following segment is sponsored by Naki.
We're a family of athletes, and we all experience tightness and soreness in our muscles, and we're always looking for easy, safe solutions. And I love Pain Gone because it's so easy to apply. Look at that. You just peel it off. I'm going to put it on my forearm where I get tightness. Also, I get a lot of tightness in my shoulders, and it fits so comfortably and provides such relief. I also like that it has 3 different settings. There's soft pulses, strong pulses, or a combination of both. And there's also 12 intensity levels, so you find what works for you. And if you want to wear it under your clothing, sometimes I do, it's great because it's not big, it's not bulky, easy to conceal. And this is great for anyone who has aches and pains and sits at their desk all day. It's wireless, and it gives you relief with just the touch of a button. You get relief in just 15 minutes, and there's no limit to how often you can use it. These gel pads will last 2 to 3 months, and that's a great value. Now, normally you may have to take over-the-counter medicine, and you would have to wait hours to take another dose. This is the natural pain-free option that you need. And right now we're offering 30% off on Pain Gone. This is an amazing product. It's gonna sell out fast. Head to asadeals.com right now for this very, very exclusive offer.
Good morning, I'm Nathan Edwards.
And I'm Alex King. Here are 3 stories to get your day started. King Charles may no longer have the worst portrait in the royal family. You can check out this cover of the latest Tatler magazine. It features a new portrait of Catherine, Princess of Wales, and people are criticizing it online, saying it looks nothing like the princess.
Look, I don't want to criticize the artist too much here, but what I will say is it has nice contrast with the blue background.
Yeah.
But the face does not look like Catherine.
The face, yeah, it does look a little off.
But hey.
But I still feel like it's really great. It
Yeah.
just, the face is, I don't know. I'm not an artist. I don't know how to. Mine would look like a giant blob.
Well, fair. I think
So.
they could do a little better. But
Yeah.
there's a new pizza capital. A congresswoman from Connecticut just declared New Haven the pizza capital of the United States. New Yorkers, well, they ain't happy about the move. One lawmaker from the Empire State said it had to be a prank call. Don't be messing with New York.
They said we are the pizza capital of the U.S.
Here's the deal, this is like one of the most divisive issues, is pizza, regional pizza.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody will go to war over their pizza.
Yeah.
And I'm willing to stand here and fight for Dayton pizza. Come on, Congressman Turner, where you at? Go and file it today. Take New Haven out.
I really enjoyed Dayton pizza, but you're pushing your luck with that
No,
one.
I say let's go. Let's go. I'm just throwing it out there.
You keep trying for that.
I'll fight.
Police in Florida snapped this picture with a 10-foot gator. A homeowner found the animal inside an enclosed pool. May is the start of mating season for alligators, so people down south tend to see more of them this time of year. This police officer is gorgeous.
Yeah, well,
Oh my gosh.
the gator is terrifying. Doesn't take away from that.
Yeah, that's creepy.
Yeah. I'm all right. That's why I
I
don't live in
cannot
Florida,
imagine,
folks.
like getting ready to run and jump into the pool and you see that.
No, hard pass. Hard pass.
The rush to get from point A to point B is kicking into gear starting today.
The Federal Aviation Administration predicts this will be the most traveled Memorial Day weekend in 14 years.
That's right, nearly 54,000 flights are taking off today. TSA says it will likely screen 18 million people between now and Wednesday. Officials at the TSA say 4 of its all-time busiest days took place this month.
Out into the sky, you definitely don't want, a rocky flight.
Yeah, exactly. So Nathan, I'm actually going to bring you over to the Weather Center because we're going to travel over here. And the reason why is it's one of those cases where I think this is important. This is the Aviation Weather Center. It's kind of under the branch where the National Weather Service is, Storm Prediction Center, National Hurricane. So what you're looking at is their map, and this is especially for pilots. These red boxes are what we call segments. These are areas where basically pilots have said over this area, things are a little bit rocky. Now, I'll point out these little orange icons. Those are not mountains. What these are reports of turbulence. So pilots will report, hey, I've got turbulence. And that's where you hear your pilot go, hey, just FYI, as we go over here, we've got a little bit of a report of turbulence. And you can see where they are in relation to storms. This one icon here, that's actually for icing, which is dangerous for some planes, especially the smaller ones.
Yeah, heading west looks a little better than heading east at this point.
Yeah, except for Montana, where it is snowing.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, exactly. No snow right now on the roads, but actually some fog. Did get Max to call on this. We did report that Selma Road up in the Springfield area was closed. We did get a report. It was a single vehicle incident. Car hit a pole flip. Luckily, no injuries, but it's going to take a little bit of a while here to clean up. Now, I-70 eastbound, as you head from basically the Indiana line over, is slow going. We don't really have a good camera on it, and the one camera continues to stall. Right for now, though, it is very, again, slow going on I-70 eastbound into the city.
A federal judge has signed off on the $600 million class action settlement over the devastating train derailment in East Palestine. This resolves claims against Norfolk Southern. The derailment and controlled burn in early February of last year left residents in the area concerned about their water and soil. The amount of money people receive will vary based on factors like how close they lived to the derailment. Some are concerned it won't be enough to cover future health needs. Residents have until July 1st to opt out of the deal and preserve their right to file an individual lawsuit later. Get excited! After so much anticipation, Kings Island is set to open the brand new Camp Snoopy tomorrow.
It's an expansion of the kids section. Let me tell you, it looks pretty neat. There's a new rides, a food hall, and a play place. So we sent Melena out to give us a sneak peek.
Finally, one of those new rides is the Franklin Flyers. So Melena, are you about to hop on the ride? Oh.
Alex, I am on the ride. I'm super excited. This is actually one of the rides that they re-envisioned. So this was actually the Woodstock Gliders. It's now the Franklin Flyers. This is super fun. I used to ride this ride growing up, and we're about to get it started. They want me to put my mic down. So let me put this down really quick. We're about to soar 28 feet in the air. I think we're about to go now. Let's give it a try. I'm a little nervous. It's my first amusement ride of the season. Uh-oh. I'm pretty sure you have to do this, and then you get a little bit of extra motion. I wish there was some other riders on here with me. That would have been fun. Maybe for the roller coaster coming up here a little bit. Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. Wait, this is actually going a little bit faster than I anticipated. Oh, my gosh. Woo! I think I'm turning around now. You guys are going to see me here in a second if I can catch you. This ride is really awesome. I mean, this would be super fun. Again, I said I grew up riding this at a small amusement park in my hometown, and it's super fun for kids and adults, and you can probably fit 2 people in here, either an adult and a kid, or maybe 2 kids, siblings that want to ride together. This is a really cool part, and what's awesome about this ride is as you're flying around, you can actually see the rest of the park, which is really fascinating. I am loving this so far. I think we're about to dip down here in a second, but I'm going to send things back to you guys in studio. We are coming down now, but stay tuned because coming up next, we are going to try one of those new desserts.
Wow.
She's having too much fun already.
Good thing she didn't eat the dessert before she got on the ride.
Good thing.
Yes. Our time right now is 6:40. Don't forget to get your headlines scrolling at the bottom of your screen.
And your weather on the side of your screen all morning long, even during commercials.
Another tough evening for the Cincinnati Reds. Matt Digby breaks it down after the break.
You're watching Your Day.
The Dayton 24/7 Now News app, brought to you by the Jeff Schmidt Auto Group.
Weather Window, presented by the National Weather Desk.
A week packed with severe storms means captured lightning, like this snapshot in southwest Michigan Monday evening, a moment in the skies over central Illinois Tuesday, and this light show in Arkansas. Strong storms near Green Bay turn the rain horizontal. Meanwhile, we may never know why this Providence area turkey crossed the road repeatedly. Maybe it wasn't chicken.
For more content like this, like the National Weather Desk on Facebook.
Good morning. I'm Matt Digby with a look at sports. The Cincinnati Reds back home for several series. That homestand starting with a win Tuesday night over the San Diego Padres. So that meant 2 chances to win a 3-game series for the first time in a month. And it will come down to Thursday's rubber match after the Padres winning Wednesday 7-3 at Great American Ballpark. Both teams with solo home runs in the first inning. This was Jeimer Candelario putting the hosts on the board, but 6 unanswered runs for the Padres, while Tyler Stephenson's 2-run double only cut the deficit to 4. Now today's game scheduled for an afternoon first pitch, but the Reds will stay home through the 29th. They'll host the Dodgers this weekend before 3 games with the Cardinals. Several high school postseason baseball games able to beat the weather on Wednesday. Russia baseball with 5 runs in the first inning, setting the tone for a 19-run win against Felicity Franklin in Miamisburg. It's 7 straight district championships now for the Raiders, 8 out of the last 9. They're 2 wins away from a 3rd straight appearance at the state championship. Many players on the baseball team, also on the basketball team that's made the last 2 state tournaments in that sport. But again, a strong start setting the tone for another district title.
Definitely raised the energy levels in the beginning. It really helped us, starting off, come here a little tired, a long bus ride, but when we got here, it helped us. That really motivated us. We got to raise our mindsets. We got to be ready, a lot of practice. We know what to practice for.
This is our goal, to get here, get to the districts and have it. That means then we have a chance to play for another regional championship. So we accomplished this goal. It's what we wanted. It doesn't matter if it's baseball, basketball, whatever sport it is. They've been to state in several different tournaments for several different years.
Also, weather pending. Today marks the start of the Horizon League tournament run for Wright State baseball. They're scheduled to play Youngstown State at Nishwitz Stadium at 11 o'clock this morning. That's a look at sports. I'm Matt Digby.
Our time right now is 6:46. There's a new airline starting services today, and it's aiming to help people with dogs. Coming up on Your Day, we're chatting about Darke Air and where it's flying off to.
You're watching Your Day.
Here's what it looks like outside right now. We're due in for probably another active day, especially during the afternoon and evening. We will run the risk of a couple of showers or thunderstorms, but not expecting, let's say, a ton of activity. It's just the period where we could catch one or two. Tomorrow, we'll do it all again, and the same time period seems likely during peak heating. Saturday, it's early on that we could see showers. Much of Saturday should stay dry. Sunday, unfortunately, maybe the wettest day of the bunch. Heavy rain a possibility, as well as potentially also some storms. So we'll be on the lookout for Sunday. Memorial Day and beyond turning much cooler.
A new airline catered to dogs is about to take off. Starting today, Darke Air will carry dogs of all sizes to their human companions on routes from New York, Los Angeles, and London. The goal is to offer an alternative to traditional air travel, which is often stressful to both dogs and their owners. Now, the service has been pretty popular already, with 15,000 requests for new destinations. But the flights won't come cheap. A one-way ticket for one dog and its owner costs $6,000 for domestic flights. Darke Air said it plans to add new routes throughout the summer. And frankly, instead of paying for the flight, I'd pay to see Nick and Valkyrie on one of these.
No, you would not.
Yeah.
Yes, I would. I would love to see how chaotic that would be.
Look, Valkyrie is chaotic as it is. I cannot imagine her on a flight trying to figure out what's going on with the noise. I would drug her up so much that I would have to carry her up the stairs, which may also be worth the price of admission.
Well,
Yes.
I'm curious how they go about this, because I wonder if the dogs are going to have to do some sort of like temperament test to even be allowed on the plane.
Yeah.
Because if they don't like other dogs, like Valkyrie, my dog would probably just be running around playing with the other dogs.
Mine would be like, stay away.
Yours
There you
doesn't really
go.
like other dogs either, does he?
He's a mess. Our time right now is 6:52. People are gearing up for Memorial Day weekend travel. Coming up on your day, Nick's got a look at your forecast and what we can expect on the roadways.
You're watching Your Day. Memorial Day is Monday, and more than 38 million people are expected to hit the highways this weekend to celebrate the unofficial start to summer.
You're taking a live look at our ODOT cameras right now as roadways are moving along already this morning. AAA travel this Memorial weekend says will be the second highest on record.
More than 43 million Americans are expected to travel by plane. Cruises And public transportation, that's a 4% increase from last year and close to the previous 2005 record of 44 million travelers. AAA says the busiest times on the roads will be from noon today through 7 p.m. tomorrow.
Nick, I think a lot of people are itching to get out, explore a little bit, and this guy over here, yes, I am leaving for Michigan tomorrow. So how are the roads going to look?
I think they'll be okay. I mean, it's just going to be one of those periods where you can catch a little bit of fog this morning, but overall, not too shabby. And when you do look at it, frankly, we just have a couple clouds. Maybe there'll be a couple showers afternoon and evening, but in general, it should be a fairly, let's say, quiet start to the day with a couple of showers later on, afternoon and evening.
Hey, you love to see it. Should be nice. What about today?
I would say temperatures near 80 degrees, so not too bad overall. Again, we are dealing with some cloud cover right for now. It's just one of those mornings where, all right, it could be a whole lot worse. As for temperatures, let's say 60s and 50s. I think that pretty much covers the gamut. We're not going to go with a whole lot of wet weather for today. But again, pop-up style, isolated, whatever you want to call it, thunder shower during the afternoon and evening.
The clock was ticking for Adamus to replace RI International as its service provider for crisis services. Yesterday was their last day providing them.
Adamus Board of Trustees voted no last night on contracts with two companies that would have kept services going. Jenny Bork was at the meeting and explains what this means.
As of today in Montgomery County, the crisis call center will no longer be available. People will have to call 988 for those services, and there will not be any more mobile crisis response services from Adamus. This is not the decision Adamus's executive director was hoping for.
It's the job of Adamus to ensure that all of the citizens in our county have the ability to access the services that they need for their loved ones, for themselves. So this is really, really disappointing to me, that we would prioritize meetings over being able to have services available for people tomorrow morning.
Montgomery County Adamus will be providing 3 less services. The Crisis Call Center, Mobile Crisis Response Unit, and Crisis Receiving Center will all be suspended. RI International, the previous provider, pulled out just 15 days ago, leaving Adamus scrambling to replace it or risk having to suspend crucial services to the community. DeCoach was set to provide mobile crisis responses, and NetCare was in place to provide a crisis hotline through the end of the year if the contracts had been approved. Some argued it'd be best to take a step back and go through the process of getting local, long-term providers in place to avoid this happening in the future.
Making more mistakes and having to undo mistakes because we're paying for that now. It's smart to get everybody in the room first, plan it out, map it out, put it on paper, get everybody in agreement, and work out the kinks.
For now, police and hospitals will be the main groups taking over these types of services. Back to you.
While this all plays out, if you need mental health support or just want to talk to someone, the National Suicide and Crisis Lifeline is here for you. Just call or text 988. It's free, confidential, and available 24/7.